Who will hunt Hezbollah's weapons as four nations are suddenly placed in the frame for a possible new mission? Lebanon says there is no deal, but then who exactly picked the countries being discussed as Hezbollah's potential weapons watchdogs? Could foreign troops soon enter Lebanon as a secret plan to monitor and disarm Hezbollah begins to emerge? Netanyahu demands searches for Hezbollah's weapons. But why is Beirut now denying that any such deal has been agreed? Britain, Italy, Switzerland and Indonesia. Why are these four countries suddenly being linked to a possible Hezbollah weapons monitoring mission? Hezbollah's disarmament plan is taking a new turn, with foreign troops potentially being sent into Lebanon to help oversee the process. Britain, Italy, Switzerland and Indonesia have emerged as possible countries for the proposed mission, according to a Reuters report. The proposed arrangement could see foreign personnel checking whether Hezbollah has actually surrendered its weapons and dismantled its military infrastructure. But Beirut is now pushing back against reports that Lebanon has agreed to a shortlist of these four nations for the mission. A Lebanese official said there is currently no agreement on which countries would be responsible for verifying Hezbollah's disarmament. The proposed mission could establish inspection rules or provide personnel on the ground across southern Lebanon to oversee the disarmament process. Foreign teams could potentially inspect villages and other locations to verify that Hezbollah weapons and military infrastructure have been removed. Israel wants those inspections to go even further, including searches of private homes, making the proposed mission far more controversial. Lebanon's army has resisted the idea of home searches, warning that such operations could trigger fresh tensions with Hezbollah. Lebanese security officials have also said searches of private properties would require warrants under the country's laws. Israel has said it will not fully withdraw from southern Lebanon until Hezbollah is disarmed and its military capabilities are dismantled. Israel currently maintains a declared security zone extending roughly 10 kilometers into southern Lebanon as part of its security arrangements. A US-backed deal links Israel's gradual withdrawal from the area to verified disarmament carried out by the Lebanese government. Hezbollah was not a party to that agreement and has rejected demands that it surrender its weapons and give up its arsenal. Washington and Israel are reportedly unlikely to accept a direct United Nations role in overseeing the verification process. Some European countries could also resist placing the mission under the oversight of the US-backed Board of Peace. That leaves the biggest question still unanswered: who would actually control any foreign mission sent into Lebanon to oversee Hezbollah's disarmament? Britain, Italy, Switzerland and Indonesia could potentially provide personnel or even troops if the proposed plan eventually moves forward. The real test will be whether Beirut, Israel and Hezbollah can agree on exactly who gets the authority to search, inspect and verify the disarmament process. Iran's proxy group Hezbollah is facing a fresh crisis amid escalating tensions with Israel and growing pressure on its finances. According to New York Times, Hezbollah is staring at its biggest financial crisis in years as its resources come under increasing strain. The group's war with Israel has severely weakened its finances, while also damaging its military capabilities and broader operations. Washington and Jerusalem have reportedly targeted Hezbollah's funding channels, putting additional pressure on the group's financial network. The financial strain is also reportedly hitting Hezbollah's extensive social welfare network, which supports communities across Lebanon. Hezbollah has reportedly prioritized military spending as it attempts to rebuild its damaged arsenal and restore its capabilities. Iran has provided Hezbollah with a major source of funding for years, but that financial support is reportedly no longer enough to meet its growing needs. Lebanon's central bank has also tightened oversight of financial networks suspected of being linked to Hezbollah, making money transfers more difficult. Authorities have additionally launched investigations into money transfer firms allegedly connected to Hezbollah's wider financial operations. Hezbollah is now reportedly turning toward informal hawala networks to move Iranian funds while avoiding tighter formal banking controls. The UAE, Turkey and Iraq are reportedly among the countries through which Hezbollah is moving funds as it seeks alternative financial routes. Meanwhile, Israel continues to carry out strikes in southern Lebanon despite the ongoing ceasefire with the Iran-backed Hezbollah. On August 6, Israel reportedly carried out strikes in southern Lebanon despite peace talks being held in Rome between the concerned parties. Hezbollah has refused to disarm, which remains one of Israel's key conditions, while also condemning the Rome talks and their proposed framework. Donald Trump reportedly sought direct talks with Hezbollah by calling Lebanon's ambassador in Washington and asking her to open a channel to the group, an extraordinary move for a sitting U.S. president. The outreach came as the Israel-Hezbollah ceasefire began to fray again, with fresh exchanges of fire and rising doubts over whether U.S.-mediated truce talks could hold. Trump had reportedly asked Lebanon's envoy, Nada Hamadeh Mowed, to put him in touch with someone from Hezbollah, according to diplomatic sources who described the call as unusually blunt. Lebanese officials were said to be caught off guard by the unconventional request, unsure how to respond to a demand that cut across both protocol and long-standing U.S. terrorism designations. Beirut ultimately instructed its embassy to disregard the outreach, telling Mowed not to act on Trump's request and to leave Hezbollah contacts strictly within Lebanese channels. Lebanon reportedly wanted to preserve its role as the sole official negotiating conduit with Hezbollah and Israel, especially as it leads formal ceasefire and border talks in Rome and Washington. Direct U.S.-Hezbollah contact would have bypassed Lebanese state authority, undermining Beirut's claim to manage the conflict and making it look like Washington was treating Hezbollah as a separate government. U.S. officials had also previously tried to reach Hezbollah through local intermediaries, with Trump boasting of highly placed representatives, who supposedly told him the group agreed to halt its fire. Multiple reported U.S. attempts to establish contact with Hezbollah were rejected or went nowhere, with subsequent checks by the U.S. Embassy in Beirut confirming no direct communication had actually taken place. Hezbollah, for its part, maintains a standing policy against direct engagement with the United States, which formally designates it a terrorist organization and regularly sanctions its networks. The report surfaced just as Hezbollah's Secretary General blasted Lebanon's government for giving concessions to the U.S. and Israel in ongoing ceasefire and border talks.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.